Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins, the top for most valuable U.S. Lincoln Wheat Penny coins value in today's market. So let's get started. The Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most iconic and widely collected coins in American history. Introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this penny marked the first time a U.S. president was featured on circulating coinage. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features a profile of Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat flanking the words 1 cent on the reverse. The wheat reverse was used until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. Among the many years of production for the Lincoln Wheat Penny, the 1945 issue is especially notable due to its high mintage and its connection to the final months of World War II. In this video, we'll focus on the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. We'll explore its history, examine its characteristics, and take a close look at its current value in the numismatic market specifically. In good circulated condition, the year 1945 was a significant time in American and global history. The Second World War was drawing to a close, and the United States was transitioning from a wartime to a peacetime economy. In terms of coin production, materials were still being conserved due to wartime needs. However, by 1945, the U.S. Mint had returned to using its standard bronze composition for the Lincoln cent. This alloy consisted of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This was a change from the previous 2 years, 1943 and 1944, when zinc-coated steel and recycled shell casings, respectively, had been used for penny production due to copper shortages. In 1945, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 1 billion Lincoln Wheat Pennies. To be exact, the total mintage for the 1945 penny without a mint mark was approximately 1,040,515,000 coins. This massive production run means that the coin is not considered rare by mintage numbers alone. However, collectors still seek out examples in high grades or with unique features such as errors or varieties. When evaluating the value of a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny, condition is one of the most important factors. For this discussion, we are focusing on coins in good condition. In numismatic grading terms, good condition typically refers to coins that have seen significant circulation, but still retain identifiable design details. On a scale of 1 to 70, these coins would fall near the lower end, usually between grades G4 and VG8. At this level, the date and major design features are visible, though the finer details are worn smooth. Because of the coin's high mintage, and the fact that many have survived, a 1945 Lincoln penny in good condition is quite common. In today's market, the value of such a coin typically ranges from 1 cent to 10 cents. In most cases, a circulated example in average good condition will sell for about 3 to 5 cents. Dealers may buy these coins in bulk or offer them in grab bags for beginner collectors. While the value may seem modest, there are still reasons to hold on to or collect them, especially for educational or starter sets. There are also a few special considerations that can affect the value of a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny even in good condition. One of those factors is the presence of errors or varieties. Mint errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets can greatly increase a coin's value, even if the coin is otherwise heavily circulated. For instance, a 1945 penny with a dramatic double die obverse could be worth several dollars or more, depending on the visibility and severity of the error. However, such varieties are relatively rare, and each coin must be evaluated individually. Another aspect to consider is the coin's eye appeal and overall preservation. Even within the category of good condition, some coins may have fewer nicks, scratches, or discoloration than others. A well-preserved, good condition coin with an even brown tone and no corrosion or verdigris might be more attractive to a collector than a coin with heavy spotting or damage. Although this difference may not translate into a substantial price difference, it can still influence a buyer's decision. So, why are people still interested in 1945 Lincoln Wheat Pennies if their market value is low? For many collectors, it's not just about the financial return. The 1945 penny offers historical significance, especially as a wartime artifact. It connects collectors to a pivotal moment in American and world history. It's also a tangible piece of Americana that has passed through countless hands over the past 80 years. Moreover, collecting Lincoln cents is a popular entry point into the world of new. A 1945 penny may be the first coin a young collector finds in their pocket change or a family member's old coin jar. For those interested in collecting or investing, it's important to understand that coin values are dynamic and influenced by several market factors. These include supply and demand, metal prices, collector trends, and auction results. Websites such as PCGS, Price Guide, NGC, Coin Price Guide, and recent eBay sales can provide updated information on current market values. Still, for coins in good circulated condition, large shifts in value are unlikely unless a major error or unique characteristic is discovered. If you happen to come across a 1945 Lincoln penny without a mint mark and you're curious about its worth, the first step is to assess its condition. If the coin shows significant wear but the date and major features are still visible, it falls into the good condition range. Such a coin is worth a few cents to a collector or dealer. It may not make you rich, but it is still a meaningful piece of history. If you're lucky enough to find one in better condition, such as fine, very fine, or uncirculated, then the value could rise accordingly. In fine to very fine condition, a 1945 Lincoln penny might fetch 10 to 20 cents. In uncirculated or mint state condition, values can range from $1 to several dollars, depending on the grade. Coins graded MS65 or higher with strong luster and minimal marks can command premium prices, especially from grading certified services. In summary, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition is a common but historically significant coin. Its value today typically ranges from 1 to 10 cents, with most examples selling around 3 to 5 cents. While not a rare treasure, it remains an important piece of American numismatic heritage and is a great addition to any coin collection. Whether you collect for fun, for history, or for investment, the Lincoln Wheat cent remains a timeless and rewarding pursuit. ****. Next up, the Lincoln Wheat penny is one of the most widely recognized coins ever produced by the United States Mint. Issued from 1909 to 1958, these 1-cent pieces have become a favorite among collectors and history enthusiasts alike. One of the more commonly encountered years in this series is 1957. In this video, we'll be focusing specifically on the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny that has no mint mark and is in extra fine condition. We'll explore its background, characteristics, collector interest, and most importantly, what it's worth in today's market. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. That year, over 282 million pennies were minted in Philadelphia alone. This high mintage means that the coin is relatively common, especially compared to earlier dates or rare mint-era coins. Despite its abundance, there is still collector interest, particularly when the coin is in better conditions, such as extra fine, uncirculated, or mint state. To better understand the value of a 1957 penny in extra fine condition, let's begin by defining what extra fine means in coin grading terms. Extra fine, often abbreviated as XF or F, is a grade that falls on the upper end of circulated coins. It's above very fine and below about uncirculated. An extra fine penny will still show sharp details in Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Some of the original mint luster may even be visible, but there will be light wear on the high points of the design. For a coin that has circulated for decades, an extra fine grade indicates that it was well preserved now. The absence of a mint mark on the 1957 penny means that it was minted in Philadelphia. That detail can be important for collectors because different mints often produced coins in varying quantities and with varying levels of die quality. However, in the case of 1957, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced a large number of wheat pennies, with the Denver mint using the D mint mark. Because the 1957 Lincoln penny is not a rare coin by itself, condition becomes the most important factor in determining value. For coins in extra fine condition, there is some collector demand, though prices remain modest due to the large number of coins still in circulation or stored away in collections. As of today's market, the average value of a 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition ranges between 10 and 20 cents. That's right, while the coin is over 65 years old and has historical significance. Its sheer abundance keeps the market value low for anything less than mint state. That said, some collectors are willing to pay a little more for especially attractive specimens, coins with unusual toning, or those that have strong strike characteristics and minimal wear. In cases like these, an extra fine 1957 penny might sell for up to 50 cents or more in retail environments, such as local coin shops or online marketplaces like eBay. But typically, 10 to 20 cents is a realistic range for individual coins, without any rare errors or unusual features. Now let's take a moment to consider what makes a 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny more valuable than usual. While a regular extra fine example may only be worth a few cents over face value, there are exceptions in the form of error coins. Examples of such errors include doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or repunched mint marks. However, since the Philadelphia version of the 1957 penny lacks a mint mark, repunched marks do not apply here. If a 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark happens to show a doubled die, particularly on the date, the lettering, or Lincoln's P, could be worth significantly more. In such cases, values can climb to several dollars or more, depending on the severity of the error and its visibility. These coins are usually identified by specialists or sent to grading services like PCGS or NGC for authentication and certification. Another scenario where a 1957 penny can command a higher price is when it has been professionally graded in high mint state conditions. A coin that earns a grade of MS65 or higher, meaning it is in mint condition with full original luster and no wear, can be worth several dollars or even more, depending on the buyer and market trends. But again, this is outside the extra fine condition we're focusing on in this video. So why do collectors bother with coins like the 1957 wheat penny if they aren't particularly valuable? The answer lies in the historical and educational appeal. The Wheat Penny series marks the first time Abraham Lincoln appeared on a circulating U.S. coin, and it replaced the Indian head cent that had been in use since 1859. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, was introduced in 1909 to mark the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Collectors often seek to build complete sets of Lincoln wheat pennies, including every year and mint mark from 1909 to 1958. The 1957 penny plays a role in completing those sets, and while it may not be a rare key date, it's essential for achieving a full run. Additionally, the wheat reverse design was discontinued after 1958, replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial reverse, making the final years of the Wheat Penny series especially nostalgic for many collectors. In terms of selling a 1957 penny in extra fine condition, it's important to know where and how to sell it. Individual coins in this condition may not attract high bids, but if you have a roll of similar quality coins, you may find interest from dealers or bulk buyers. Selling in person, at coin shows, local shops, or through online auctions are all viable options. Still, be prepared for modest offers unless you can prove the coin has something special such as an error, toning, or unusually sharp strike. To summarize, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition is not rare and does not command a high market value. On average, such a coin is worth between 10 and 20 cents in today's market. However, it remains an accessible and historically meaningful piece for collectors and is often used to teach beginners the basics of coin collecting, grading, and thus mint history. While it may not bring big money, its role in American numismatics is significant, and its classic design and long legacy continue to make it a staple of many coin collections. If you find one in your change, it's worth holding on to, if not for profit, then for its connection to an earlier time in American currency. Next up, the Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most iconic coins in American numismatic history. First minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's image. Among the many dates and mint marks in the series, the 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the S mint mark is one that often piques the interest of collectors, especially when found in circulated or dirty condition. Today, we'll take a closer look at this specific coin, its features, and how much it's really worth in today's market. Let's begin with the basics. The 1951 S Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint. In total, just over 136 million of these coins were produced. While that might sound like a high number, many of these coins were put into circulation and stayed there for years. As a result, finding a 1950 ONS penny in pristine condition is much less common today. However, what about those coins that were not kept safe in collections? The ones that have seen years of use and commerce, left forgotten in drawers, piggy banks, or even buried in the dirt. These are what we often call dirty or circulated coins. They show signs of wear, discoloration, scratches, and sometimes corrosion. Despite their condition, they can still have value, though. That value depends heavily on a few key factors. The first factor is demand. The 1950 UNS penny is not a rare date by itself, but it does hold interest for those trying to complete a Lincoln Wheat cent collection. Most collectors look for at least one example from each year and mint mark. As such, there is always a steady demand for coins like the 1951S. The second factor is condition. Professional coin grading agencies use a scale from 1 to 72 grade coins, with 70 being a perfect, uncirculated example. Dirty or circulated coins typically fall within the lower end of this scale, between grades 1 and 20. These lower grade coins are considered good to fine condition, with visible wear and limited detail. Even if the coin is dirty, it can still retain some of its design, which can help identify it and assess its grade. A coin in extremely dirty condition may not be graded professionally unless it's part of a larger batch or collection, but that doesn't mean it has no value. On the contrary, many everyday people discover these coins and want to know whether they should hold on to them or sell them in circulated condition, which includes most dirty coins found in change or storage. The 1950 OS penny usually ranges in value from 3 cents to about 25 cents. The lower end reflects heavy wear or severe discoloration. The higher end of that range applies to coins with less damage. where most of the details are still visible, even if the coin is not visually appealing. In the current market, collectors or bulk buyers often purchase wheat pennies by the pound or in rolls. A typical roll of 50 circulated wheat cents, including various dates and mint marks, might sell for $2 to $4. That breaks down to roughly 4 to 8 cents per coin. Therefore, if you're looking to sell a single dirty 1951 penny, you can reasonably expect to receive about 5 cents, unless there is something unusual or rare about the coin. That brings us to another consideration: errors. Sometimes, even a dirty or worn coin can be valuable if it contains a mint error. These can include things like doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or repunched mint marks. While these errors are not common for the 1951 penny, they do exist. A 1951 with a visible and verified error can be worth several dollars or more, depending on the severity and visibility of the flaw. If you suspect your coin might have an error, it's worth having it looked at by a knowledgeable collector or local coin dealer. Even in dirty condition, a rare mint error can make your coin significantly more valuable. Now, let's talk about cleaning. Many people think that cleaning a dirty coin will increase its value. Unfortunately, this is almost always the opposite. Cleaning a coin, especially using abrasive materials, can scratch or damage its surface. Even if the coin looks shinier afterward, it loses value in the eyes of serious collectors. The natural patina and signs of age are part of the coin's history and appeal. So, if you find a dirty 1951 penny, it's best to leave it in its original condition, unless advised otherwise by a professional. Another common question is whether it's worth getting such a coin graded. The short answer is, probably not. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC charge fees that far exceed the value of a low-grade 1951 penny. Unless your coin has an unusual error or is in remarkably high condition for its age, it's not economical to have it graded individually. That said, there are always exceptions. Some high-grade 1951 pennies have sold at auction for substantial amounts. In mint state condition, meaning the coin looks almost exactly as it did when it left the mint, these coins can fetch $5 to $20 or more. And if the coin is graded at the top end, such as MS67 with a red color designation, it can sell for several $100s. However, finding such a coin in the wild is extremely rare, especially if the coin is already dirty and circulated. In summary, a dirty 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny has modest value. Most examples in circulated condition are worth between 3 and 10 cents, with better-looking coins possibly reaching 25 cents. If you have multiple wheat pennies, including the 1951 you might consider selling them as a group or roll. While not a fortune, these coins can still be fun to collect, trade, and learn from. The 1950 penny also represents a piece of American history, minted during the post-war years, circulated during a time of economic growth, and handled by people from many walks of life. Its worn surfaces and dirty patina may hide its age, but also reflect decades of real-world use. So, the next time you come across a dirty old penny with an mint mark and a 1951 date, don't dismiss it. It may not be rare or highly valuable, but it carries a story and still holds some worth in today's coin market. Next up, the 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is a coin that captures the attention of both beginner and experienced coin collectors. While it may seem like a common coin at first glance, its value can vary significantly depending on several key factors such as condition, coloration, and market demand. In this video, we'll explore the background of the 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny, what makes it special, and what you can realistically expect it to be worth today, especially if yours is in black-toned circulated condition. To begin, let's start with a brief history of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, first issued in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The Wheat Penny quickly became an iconic piece of American coinage. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and agriculture. The Wheat Penny was minted until 1958, after which it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. The 1947 Wheat Penny was minted just 2 years after the end of World War II, during a period when the United States was recovering from wartime production restrictions. That year, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 190 million Lincoln Wheat Pennies. Since Philadelphia minted coins bear no mint mark, a 1947 penny without a mint mark originated from this facility. Because of the high mintage, the 1947 no-mint mark penny is generally considered a common date. Millions of these coins were released into circulation, and many still exist today. However, that doesn't mean all examples are created equal. Their value depends significantly on the coin's condition, color, and whether any errors or unique characteristics are present. When discussing condition, coin collectors use a grading scale that ranges from poor to mint state. A coin in poor condition will show heavy wear, with much of the design worn away. On the opposite end, a mint state coin will appear nearly flawless, with full detail and original luster intact. The value increases dramatically as the grade improves. Most coins found in everyday circulation are in lower grades such as good, very good, or fine. These circulated coins have lost much of their original shine and have various degrees of wear. While these lower grade coins typically have low market value, there are still factors that may affect the price, including color or toning. Now let's talk about black-toned Lincoln Wheat Pennies. A black appearance on a copper coin usually indicates either natural oxidation over time or environmental damage. Copper is a reactive metal, and exposure to moisture, air, and chemicals can result in a dark brown to black tone. In most cases, this is not desirable to collectors who prefer red or red-brown coins in higher grades. However, there are exceptions. If a black-toned Lincoln penny shows even wear and has no serious damage, it may still be collectible as a filler coin or for someone completing a set on a budget. But it's important to note that in the grading world, black coloration due to oxidation is often considered environmental damage. As such, these coins are usually classified as damaged or impaired, which limits their value. So what is a realistic value for a 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in black-toned circulated condition? In today's market, such a coin will generally have a value between 1 cent and 5 cents. That's right because of its high mintage and the condition issues associated with black-toned coins. The base market value is quite low. Most coin dealers and collectors consider these coins to be of low numismatic interest unless they have rare features like die errors, off-center strikes, or doubled dies. There are a few special cases where the value could increase slightly. For example, if the coin has a strong strike with full wheat lines on the reverse and has an even, natural black tone without corrosion, it might sell for 10 to 25 cents to a niche collector. Some collectors are specifically interested in toning variations, including dark-toned coins, and may pay a bit more for well-preserved examples. On the other hand, coins with pitting, surface corrosion, or signs of being cleaned or artificially darkened are typically worth only face value. Cleaning a coin, especially with chemicals or abrasives, significantly reduces its value and is highly discouraged in the numismatic community. Natural patina is always preferred over artificially altered appearances. Online marketplaces like eBay often list 1947 no-mint mark wheat pennies for sale, and the final sale price can vary based on presentation, shipping costs, and buyer interest. A black-toned circulated example may sell for 10 to 20 cents when sold individually, often only when paired with free shipping or bundled with other coins. In bulk sales, such as rolls of circulated wheat pennies, the individual value can drop to as low as 2 cents per coin. If you're wondering whether it's worth selling or holding on to a black-toned 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny, the answer depends on your goals. If you're assembling a low-cost wheat penny set or enjoy collecting for historical reasons, keeping it can be satisfying. But if you're hoping for significant profit, it may be better to focus on coins in better condition or with rarer attributes. Some collectors specialize in errors and varieties, and that's one area where even a darkened 1947 penny might become more valuable. If your coin exhibits a doubled die, repunched mint mark, though this applies more to Denver or San Francisco coins, or a die crack, it could attract attention from specialists. In such cases, professional evaluation and certification by a service, like PCGS or NGC, could increase its value. In summary, the 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny, without a mint mark, is generally common and low in monetary value when found in black-toned circulated condition. Its value typically ranges from 1 to 5 cents, with slight increases possible for clean, evenly toned coins. While it may not be a financial treasure, it still holds historical value and can be an enjoyable part of a collection. For those passionate about American coinage, even common coins tell a story worth preserving. So, if you have one of these coins, consider it a small piece of history. You may not get rich from it, but it represents an era of American life and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. For beginners and casual collectors, it's an excellent starting point to learn more about grading, toning, and the coin market overall. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you in next time. Happy collecting!